Good evening, guys. First of all, best of luck tomorrow for you guys that are taking your SATs. Same advice that I gave at the beginning of class. Make sure you eat a good breakfast, make sure you sleep well, don't stress out during the test, manage your time, and I'm sure you guys are going to do excellent. Alright, so when we were talking about ecology, I believe we left off at the leopard distribution, right? And we even made an acrostic poem. Some of you guys really came up with some clever stuff. There were a few slides that we did not go over yet. Okay, so one of those slides was going to be biomes and life zones, and that would have been really helpful to go over before I assigned you your biome project, right? So here are 8 biomes, depending on how you want to characterize things, how specific you want to be, you could come up with a large list of biomes. So both abiotic and biotic factors characterize large terrestrial regions of the biosphere. These are classified as biomes. Each one is characterized by distinct climate and specific life forms. So on your little note sheet, I believe climate was an underlined word that wasn't filled in. And climate is going to be long-term patterns of weather. Okay, so we have here a little diagram. And in your diagram, again, I always want you guys to focus on the y-axis and the x-axis. So on our x-axis, we have average annual temperature in degrees Celsius. And in our y-axis, we have average annual precipitation in centimeters. So as you go up on the y-axis, you get more rain. And as you go right on the x-axis, you get hotter temperatures. And we see that there's some overlap for some biomes. But for example, you would never see the tropical rainforest have an overlap with the tundra, because the tropical rainforest is going to be so much warmer and have a lot more precipitation. Okay? So our check for understanding is based on the chart. I want you guys to identify the biomes for La Selva, Costa Rica, Tucson, Arizona, Tuluc Lake, and Houston, Texas. And you have a little bit of information here. You have the temperature, and you have the amount of precipitation. So what I want you guys to do now is pause the video after looking at this chart again. Okay? So go ahead and pause the video. And again, here is the data. Okay. And so by now you should have figured out that La Selva is going to be a tropical rainforest, Tucson is going to be a desert, Tuluc Lake is going to be a tundra. Now the tundra is characterized by permafrost, which means the ground is always frozen. Okay? And we can see that the average temperature is negative 8.8 degrees Celsius. That is below the freezing point. And here in Houston, we are warm and we are wet. We are very humid. We are a temperate deciduous forest. When we talk about life zones, sometimes we say aquatic life zones are going to be kind of the analog for biomes. They describe the different types of water and environments, such as freshwater, which we've talked about in our Life of James lab, or the marine life zones. Let's see here. So the edge effect, or the ecotone, that's when you have a land zone and an aquatic zone meeting up. And let's look at this transition zone here. And let's take a careful look at the number of species. So compared to the land zone and the aquatic zone, the transition zone is actually going to have a higher number of species. It's going to have a greater biodiversity, which I believe was your check for understanding. So how does biodiversity compare at the boundary of 2 different ecosystems? And what is the name of this effect? Well, it's going to be the edge effect or ecotone. Again, this was our summary, and we also assigned the biome project. And if you guys have any questions about the biome project, feel free to email me or ask me in class. Okay? Again, it's due 12 days from now. You have a couple of weekends, so to really try to squeeze in that work to get it done. I strongly encourage you guys to come visit me with any drafts or if you have any questions about it. That way as the work is kind of progressing, you could adjust as necessary. Okay? Again, best of luck for tomorrow. See you guys on Tuesday.